Have you ever heard that low glycemic index foods are always the best choice for people with diabetes? Well, that's a half-truth that might be sabotaging your glucose control. Not every food classified as low glycemic index is actually a good option for your health, and worse, some of them can lower your blood sugar too much, causing hypoglycemia and other undesirable effects. In today's video, you will discover the 4 worst low glycemic index foods that diabetics often eat, thinking they are making a good choice. Stay with me until the end because, besides explaining why these foods can be a trap, I will give you practical tips to safely replace them and keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. If you want to take care of your health more consciously, this video is for you. 1. Brown rice. Many people with diabetes believe that switching from white rice to brown rice is always a safer choice. After all, brown rice has more fiber, is less processed, and has a lower glycemic index, right? But is that enough to ensure it won't negatively affect your blood sugar? The reality is a bit more complex. Although brown rice has a lower glycemic index than white rice, that does not mean it has little impact on glucose. What determines your body's response is not just the index, but also the glycemic load, the portion size, and what you consume with it. To begin with, even with the husk and bran preserved, brown rice is still a concentrated source of carbohydrates. In 1 cup of cooked brown rice, there are about 45 grams of carbohydrates, practically the same as in white rice. This means that if consumed in large quantities or alone, it can cause blood sugar spikes, especially in people who are more sensitive to insulin or who already have difficulty controlling blood sugar. Another important point is that rice, even brown, has almost no protein or good fats, which contributes to a faster absorption of carbohydrates when consumed in isolation. Studies show that the glycemic index of a food can vary depending on how it is prepared. Brown rice, when overcooked, can lose part of its resistant fibers and become even more glycemic. This means that even a theoretically better option can become harmful depending on how it is prepared. The good news is that you do not need to completely exclude rice from your life. You just need to make more strategic choices. You can reduce the portion instead of filling the plate. Try using a smaller measure accompanied by vegetables and a good source of lean protein, such as grilled chicken or boiled eggs. You can use smart combinations, like adding extra fiber to the plate with raw or sautéed vegetables, and include healthy fats, like olive oil or seeds. Brown rice is not an absolute villain, but it is definitely not the hero many think it is. It can be part of the diet, yes, but with awareness, moderation, and the right combinations. Eating well when you have diabetes is not just about choosing the right food, but understanding the context of the entire meal. 2. Whole wheat bread. When it comes to breakfast or a quick snack, whole wheat bread usually appears as the preferred choice for people with diabetes. It's often recommended for having more fiber, being less processed, and having a lower glycemic index than white bread. But is it really the best option? The answer might surprise you. Despite its reputation as a diabetic's friend, whole wheat bread is not always what it seems. Many breads sold as whole wheat in supermarkets are made with refined flour mixed with a small portion of whole wheat flour. This means that even with packaging full of healthy claims, the effect on your blood sugar can be as bad as that of regular bread. Another problem lies in the amount of carbohydrates. A single slice of whole wheat bread can have between 15 and 20 grams of carbohydrates, and since they are usually consumed as sandwiches, you end up ingesting 30 to 40 grams in a single meal. And if there are no sources of protein or fat along with it, the absorption of these carbohydrates can be too fast, causing blood sugar spikes. Whole wheat bread does have, on average, a lower glycemic index than white bread. But again, the glycemic index does not tell the whole story. It is measured with specific portions, on an empty stomach, and in isolation, which does not represent the way people actually eat. Moreover, What you consume along with the bread, such as jams, juices, or even fruits, can turn an apparently healthy meal into a glucose bomb. Many people also believe that because it is whole, the bread will promote satiety and help control hunger throughout the day. However, because it has little volume and is easily chewable, whole wheat bread does not stimulate satiety as much as truly whole foods like grains, vegetables, or tubers with skin. There are several ways to continue enjoying a tasty breakfast without compromising your blood sugar control. You can replace the bread with eggs and vegetables, as omelets, scrambled eggs with spinach, or even pancakes made with oat bran and seeds are great options. Homemade breads with functional ingredients are a great option because you can prepare breads at home with almond flour, chia seeds, psyllium, and eggs. They have fewer carbohydrates and more good fats and fibers, making an excellent combination for people with diabetes. Always read the label when you want to consume industrialized bread. Carefully read the ingredients. Ideally, whole wheat flour should be listed as the first ingredient without added sugar or glucose syrup, and even then, consume it in moderation. You can include proteins and good fats in your snack, adding a slice of white cheese, a boiled egg, or even a little avocado spread to help balance the bread's glycemic response. 3. Sweet corn. Sweet corn is one of those foods that can fool even the most careful individuals. It is natural, has fiber, is rich in antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, and is still delicious whether on the cob, canned, in salads, or in corn pudding. So why is it on the list of the worst low glycemic index foods for diabetics? The answer lies in the details. Although sweet corn has a glycemic index considered moderate to low, it is still highly rich in simple carbohydrates. 1 cup of cooked corn contains about 35 grams of carbohydrates, and a large portion of these carbohydrates are fast-absorbing starches. In other words, despite having a reasonable amount of fiber, the impact of sweet corn on blood sugar can be significant, especially if consumed alone or in large quantities. Another factor that confuses many people is the flavor. Because since corn is naturally sweet, it tends to be perceived as lighter than it actually is. This creates the false idea that it is a healthy little snack, when in reality, it can be one of the main causes of blood sugar spikes for those who do not properly adjust their portions. Moreover, corn is rich in starch, which during the digestive process quickly transforms into glucose. Depending on the preparation method, such as canned corn with preservatives, sweetened corn puddings, or corn cakes, this effect is intensified. And even on the cob, if there is no care with the quantity and the side dishes, corn can sabotage glycemic control. Corn provides vitamin B1, B9, magnesium, and antioxidants that are good for vision and cardiovascular health. The problem is that for people with diabetes, the benefits only outweigh the risks if accompanied by intelligent portion management and meal composition. When we talk about sweet corn, especially canned, there is also the issue of sodium, since many industrialized products contain high amounts of salt and even added sugars to enhance flavor and preserve the product. If you love corn and want to keep eating it without harming your blood sugar control, here are some strategies that work. Prefer fresh corn on the cob, as it is less processed and more nutritious. When consuming it, avoid adding excess butter, salt, or sugar. Combine it with low glycemic impact foods. You can add corn to salads with leafy greens, cucumber, raw carrots, grilled chicken, or tuna. Sweet corn can be natural and tasty, but it requires respect when including it in the diet. The secret lies in moderation, in the choice of preparation method, and in balancing it with other foods in the meal. 4. Packaged foods for diabetics. You have probably seen on supermarket shelves products with phrases like special for diabetics, sugar-free, or low glycemic index. Cookies, cereal bars, juices, chocolate drinks, desserts all come with attractive packaging that gives a sense of security. These products are not always truly safe for people with diabetes. In many cases, the promise on the packaging does not match the reality of the impact these foods have on your blood sugar. The first trap is in the expression sugar-free. When we see that, the tendency is to believe that the product will not affect blood sugar. However, what many do not know is that even without sucrose, these foods can still contain other types of carbohydrates that affect blood sugar levels. Many of these products are made with refined flours, maltodextrin, and polyols like maltitol or sorbitol, all ingredients that have the potential to raise blood sugar, even if at different rates. Moreover, it is common for them to contain artificial additives, hydrogenated fats, and little real nutritional value. Studies show that a large portion of products aimed at diabetics do not have a significant difference in glycemic impact compared to their traditional versions. In some cases, they can even be worse because of the low nutritional quality and the presence of ingredients that inflame the body. For those living with diabetes, careful label reading is an essential skill. Here are some practical tips to identify traps. Read the list of ingredients before the nutrition facts panel. If the first items are wheat flour, maltodextrin, or some disguised form of sugar, it is already a red flag. Be careful with polyols. Ingredients like maltitol, xylitol, and sorbitol have less glycemic impact than regular sugar, but still raise blood sugar, especially in large quantities. Moreover, they can cause intestinal discomfort, such as gas and diarrhea. Compare with the regular version. Often, the For Diabetics product has only small differences in the total carbohydrates, but costs twice as much. Avoid trusting only the label. Only the analysis of the ingredients list and the nutrition facts panel can give you a real view of what you are consuming. And that is where the true power of knowledge lies. With small changes and attention to detail, you can transform your diet and keep your blood sugar under control without giving up the pleasure of eating well. So, have you ever fallen into any of these food traps thinking you were making a good choice for diabetes control? Then share your experience with us in the comments. It might help other people going through the same situation. If this content helped you in any way, don't forget to leave your like. That shows YouTube that you enjoy this type of video and helps us reach even more people who need this information. Share this video with friends, family, and diabetes groups, because quality information can transform lives. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Every week there is new content with practical tips backed by science and always focused on your health and well-being. See you in the next video. Until then,